Well, hello, friends. How are you this evening? I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and I am sitting in the dead space tonight. Now, I would just like to make sure that you guys could hear me. So if you would let me know if my microphone is coming through, that would be great. Because I have a story for you. I have a story for you. So here I am in the dead space. In fact, I was thinking about trying on the hat. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Oh, no, that doesn't look right on me. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me loud and clear because here's my situation tonight. And don't worry, we're going to make a card because I have a really fun idea in my head. But here's the situation tonight. Tom is stuck at an airport in Detroit. Yes, Tom is stuck at an airport. I think he's in Detroit. He may actually still be in Harrisburg. I'm not 100% sure where that man is. Let me tell you what happened. So this morning, Tom spent a couple of days with his mom. His mom, there was a 95th, I think a 95th birthday party, and Tom's mom wanted to go. And it was in South Philadelphia where, Tom's dad was originally from. So he decided that he would fly back to spend a little time with his mom. It's right around his birthday. And he would spend some time with her and take her to this 95th birthday party. And they had a great time. And I talked to him last night and he said, okay, I fly out first thing tomorrow morning. I'll be rolling in the afternoon and we'll be able to go live at night. Well, 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 it didn't work out. So the plane came into Harrisburg to pick Tom up, but the the pilot said that there was a jet fuel smell in the cockpit most of the ride in, and that wasn't good. That wasn't a good thing. So they took the plane out onto the tarmac and they tried revving up the engines to see if they could fix the problem. And they came back in and they said, no, this isn't good. Well, for any of you who know about Harrisburg Airport, I think there's like 3 planes it's tiny. It's a little airport, so they don't have a lot of options. So they actually had to send for another plane, and I think Tom is going to be somewhere tonight. I don't know. I think he may even get home tonight. I'm not 100% sure, but he couldn't get here in time for the live tonight. So I am solo. I'm starting in the dead space, but I'm going to work my way over to the other side of the room. So I'm going to go do that now. All right. Okay. Here. I'm here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. And my friend Jennifer McGuire is here. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here. I asked her if she would moderate tonight. Every once in a while we get the trolls that write a 3-page dissertation on the origins of the herpes virus. So I asked Jennifer if she would if she would come in and help out, and hopefully I could figure out how to run this studio all by myself tonight. It's crazy. There are so many buttons and buzzers and lighting things, so who even knows? I just hope you guys can see me and I hope you guys can hear me. So tonight we're going to be using the brand new Spring Daisies stencil that was just released in our last release. That stencil was designed by my daughter, Alicia, and I love it so much. I did a video, like a 5-minute card video over the weekend featuring that stencil, and a lot of you said, oh, thank goodness you did something with it because I bought it and I wasn't sure how to use it, and I'm really happy that you did. And I thought it deserved a full-blown hour of fun. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So let's see. I know the chat's going by really fast. So I'm going to be using this stencil set, and then I'm also going to add our Nature's Elements stencil into it. You don't have to do this part, but if you want to add a little bit of extra into it, this is a really fun stencil to use. Now I'm going to go to the overhead. I'm going to put all this out here in front of us, and then I'm going to go to the overhead, and then I'm going to stay on the overhead shot for most of the video, but I'll be back to the front shot. And I want to tell you something. When Tom told me that he wasn't going to be able to be here tonight, I I came up with a word of the day. That's right, a word of the day, 2 words of the day, and I'll tell you what they are. All right, I'm going back over here. Now I'm back in the dead space and to the overhead. There we go. I think this should count as a workout too. All right, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I think obviously I was trying to focus this camera, so I'm in a little tight. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this stencil yet, you haven't tried it, this is the Spring Daisy stencil. It is a 4-part layering stencil that creates absolutely beautiful daisy designs. And I should have a card in here somewhere, but that might be in my office. So I am going to start with a piece of craft cardstock here. I just like to work on this cardstock because I think it's a good color when I am working on other things. So you can see I cleaned up all my equipment too. My paper cutter's all clean, and my Misty is all clean. I kind of went through a cleaning binge. So, and I know the thing that's going to be missing tonight, well, aside from Tom's wonderful humor and all of those things, is the music. And I know you guys love the music, so I'm sure you were wondering, this piece isn't actually very straight. I'm sure you were wondering when the screen came on that there was no intro music. Well, that intro music is somewhere else in the country with Tom, so I don't even know where that is. That's on his computer. He does all of that. He does the round of applause. He does the magic spin to figure out who's going to win a card tonight. So we're going to have to hold off on that as well. But we're going to do it. Tom, I don't think he'll be watching. I think he's actually probably in the air right now. So, you know, sing, Shauna. I don't know that you want to hear that. Not tonight. Jennifer, I appreciate it that you think I can sing, but I don't know. I got a lot on my mind tonight, so we're just going to go with this. Okay, so I'm going to start this card by putting a little bit of tape on the back, and then I'm going to just attach it here. Now, if you have a stencil mat or a glass mat or whatever you use, you can certainly use that. That will work great. Now, the colors I decided, my colors for the other day, when I posted that last video with the gel pen dots, were powder blue and blue denim. Tonight, I thought I would use innocent pink and dusty rose. So I'm going to start with some innocent pink here. Yeah, Jennifer knows if anybody says any naughty words, like really bad words, you know, that kind of stuff. Jennifer knows how to get the trolls. Right, Jennifer? I hope you can. Does it look like you're set up as a moderator? I tried to do that. I hope I did it right. If not, Jennifer, just text me and I'll run across the room and zap them. Okay, so I'm going to start with stencil layer 1, and I'm going to do this down here at the bottom. Now, in my last card, I did it pretty high, and I put my greeting in here, and I really wanted as much of the stencil here as possibly I could get onto the card. I'm going to do more than one placement of this stencil, so I am bringing this down quite a bit to about here. All right, and then I've got a little old purple tape here that I was using to tape some stuff for a class I'm teaching this weekend in Ohio. And I was cleaning out a bunch of stuff, and I found that, and I was so excited to find it because it holds so well. And this is Pixie tape. This is the newer tape by Thermoweb, and I'm just going to put it up here just to protect the top of the card. You know what? Give me 1 second. I got to grab something across the room. I got to grab my word of the day because, you know, the old brain doesn't work like it used to. So, okay. So I'm going to start with the innocent pink, and I am going to just do a nice light layer of innocent pink on these daisies. Oh, I love how the brush just catches along the edges and just deepens them up a little bit. Yeah, Kathy Zilski, that's right. Be careful. Jennifer's moderating tonight, so be on your best behavior. Tom is I think he's in the air right now because I think he would have texted me and he would have probably told me that he could hear me or the microphone was working if he was stuck in the airport still. That plane was supposed to get there really soon. So, yeah, you know, stuff happens. You just got to go with the flow. You got to roll with it, right? And I know I have the best people in the world. You guys are the best people in the world. So I don't have to worry because you guys are all so supportive. And I really appreciate that. So I'm not worried. We're going to make it just fine. So there, I have my first 3 flowers. Aren't they pretty? They already look a little bit shaded. I did say Detroit, Anne, and then I also said Harrisburg because he was supposed to fly from Harrisburg to Detroit to home. And I don't know where he is in the process. He could be anywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to put this stencil up here and I'm going to add another flower, a big flower here in this area. Let me see where I want it to go. I think right about there would be perfect. I want to leave a little room for some greenery. Okay, so I'm going to tape that down and then I'm going to use this over here just to be safe. So once again, I'm just going to, no, you haven't missed anything, Sherry. You missed me in a cowboy hat in a dead space. That's about it. You'll have to watch the beginning again to see what happened. So I'm going to finish this one up here like that. And then we're going to go to layer 2. Now, I find that Dusty Rose is a beautiful, compatible color for Innocent Pink. So that's what we're going to use for our second layer. So that's layer 1. Now we're going to move to layer 2. And again, we want to make sure that we have the stencil going in the same direction. This should be pretty easy to line up. That looks pretty good. Look good here. Let me get my head in the way. There we go. Rena did my roots. Actually, Rena texted me. She's busy. She's got so many clients tonight. And she said, Mom, because one of the girls at work here goes to get her hair done there. And she said, Mom, I heard you're all alone tonight. Are you going to be okay? Do you need me? And I know she's really busy with clients. So I said, no, me and the crew, we're going to be good. We're going to make it happen. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing the link to this stencil. Okay, so now I'm going to add the extra layer here using Dusty Rose. So this, like I said, this stencil was designed by my daughter, Alicia. She always adds all of these beautiful layers for me. This is the part that I just don't know how to do. And she always says, what am I doing today, Mom? And I give her a design and I say, can you make this into something layered? Because I need layers in here. And she can see all the lights and the darks and the way the light hits it. I can't see any of that. And you guys know that because you've seen me use Gamsol. But not bad. All right, here we go. There is the second layer. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love this one. This one is a great stencil. And you know what's really fun about this stencil? I'll tell you what's really fun about this stencil. This is a spring stencil, but it's totally a fall stencil. Can't you see this as a fall flower too? Can't you see just doing bold golden yellow flowers with brown centers? Wouldn't that just be a beautiful fall card? So you can make this a fall flower as well, definitely. Okay, I'm just moving that a little bit because I didn't see it very well. So can you see pretty well? Is the camera good? Can you see it? Is it in focus? I just started pushing buttons. I think I pushed the right ones though. Okay. Yeah, different inks, exactly. You use different inks and you can create a whole different look. Oh, good. Camera's good. Okay. Tom, if you're watching, you trained me well. Okay, so there's that second layer. Now we're going to add some of the larger leaves. So there's 2 sets of leaves here. You see how these work together where you have the larger leaf on the outside? Maybe it'd be easier to see this way. I don't know. The larger leaf on the outside, and then this leaf kind of fills in the center that you can use with a darker color. I'm only going to use the larger leaves here. Okay. And I am going to turn this stencil. So I don't want it to hit this right here. So I'm going to turn it a little bit so it's out of the way. First, I'm going to do this one, this, and then I'm going to just turn it a little bit and do that leaf separately. Now, it's really easy to manipulate a stencil. All you have to do is have some Post-it notes on standby. And I always have Post-it notes. I think a craft room without Post-it notes, I don't know. But you can also use Masking Magic. That works great with this as well. But you can just pop a little Post-it note right on there, and now it won't get in the way. So I hope that that makes sense. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I'm going to start with Jelly Bean Green. In fact, I'm only going to use Jelly Bean Green here for this. And I'm going to do all of these, including down here. The only one that's going to be a problem is the one that's overlapping that flower. So I guess I should be on the safe side and tape it down. Nothing's worse, right, than when something shifts. And it's probably not a bad idea to put a little something up here too. All right. So I told Tom my first word of the day is, I told Tom, well, when he called me and he said, I have really bad news. And I said, I don't want to know. And he said, you have to know. I'm not going to be able to make it back in time for the live. And so today's first word of the day is craftastrophe. And a craftastrophe is when the person that knows how to run all the equipment can't make it to the live. That becomes a craftastrophe in our world. All right, now I'm going to add a little stem right down here. I told him that was going to be my word of the day, and he said, that's pretty good. Considering what's going on, that's really good. All right, I'll give you my second word of the day in just a little bit. So I'm going to just get a little bit in there. I moved that stem down there. Okay. So now I want to put something in there. So I can pick a smaller leaf like this one right here. And I'm just going to pop it right in there and add that leaf. And I'm going to cover this hole so nothing gets in there. Where's the sticky stuff? Oh, it's up here. There we go. Okay. Get a little green in there. Have a green finger. Okay. So there, you see how I just altered that by not using that big leaf that would have overlapped. Now, what you can do is, if it's easier for you, just do this section down here with all the leaves. And then after the leaves are on there, then add this flower, because then you'll be able to see where to put it. But I really wanted a lot of this flower to show. Okay, now if I wanted to do layer 4, you could see it just kind of fits in there. And you see how it's just a little bit smaller, so you can add a darker green. But I'm not going to use this one. Instead, I'm going to break out this stencil here. And this is the Nature's Elements. Now, this stencil is just one of those stencils that is so useful. It's kind of like a must-have stencil. You'll pull it out a lot if you want to do clouds, if you want to add some stars here and there. These are great for flower centers. And then this is a little grounding panel. So if you ink that up and then you pop a little animal or a little flower pot or something on there, it's kind of like a little grounding panel. Here, of course, we have a sun, and then we have all of these leaves that you can add in and around the other parts. And that's what we're going to use today. We're going to use these leaves. So I'm going to bring these leaves. You see that? I'm going to add that right in there, and I'm going to have it just wrap around. And I think that's going to be so pretty on here. So I am going to tape this down. Jennifer, you ready for the weekend? Jennifer and I are spending the whole weekend together at Create. We're teaching 2 classes together, and then she's going to help me in my make and take booth too. She and Kathy Rakusin are going to be in my make and take booth, and I just have a feeling that it's going to get really silly. So if you guys are anywhere near Ohio, you have to try to come to Create. It's open to the public, and you can come and do up to 68 cards. You'll be stuck to me like Connect glue. I love that. Okay. So I'm going to add this right here. Yeah, I was trying to make Tom laugh today when he was very upset because he really loves to be here with you guys, and he didn't want me to have to do this all by myself. And so I'll give you my second word of the day. My second word of the day, when he told me that the plane broke down and he wasn't going to be able to get back in time, I said to him, well, that's a real plane in the butt. So that's my phrase of the day, plane in the butt. Craftastrophe and plane in the butt. All right, so I'm going to add another little leaf in here. And I think I'm going to just use this little skinny one right there. This one. And what's really fun, he laughed. He said that was pretty good. And I'm going to just tape that off there so nothing gets in there. Tape that off there. Just Post-it notes. And one right there. So I can just add that one leaf right there. Okay. And then we'll add a little greenery right in here. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that I have a little mark there, but that's okay because I am going to put my greeting there. So hopefully I'll position my greeting that it covers it up. And then I need one more little thing right here. So I could do that. I could do this leaf here. Maybe I could just do something like this. I think I'll do this one right here. I think that'll be really pretty. Just block all that off. You can see I bent that stencil being too vigorous. I know this, you know what this reminds me of? Surgery. You know how when you're when you have surgery, they drape everything. There's just, you can't see anything except the little area they're working on. So this is surgery, surgical stenciling. Okay. Looking good. And let's see what happened with that. Oh, yeah, I like it. You guys like that? This is a really fun stencil to kind of make a background. And if you're a scrapbooker, this would be gorgeous just down the side of the card. I know, I'm missing Tom too. We're missing his music tonight too. He's usually playing music by now. Hey, you know, but I did do the cowboy hat thing. I did do 2 words of the day. I'm trying my best. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some details. So let me zoom in just a little bit. I know that really, it just adds so much, those big leaves, kind of adding those big leaves in there. Okay. And then I've got this colored pencil. So this is Henna. So I like to always have a little piece of cardstock close by just to check the color and see if this color would look good. And I think it would. I think that's going to be a good color. I also picked up this one, pumpkin orange. Now, pumpkin orange, I don't think looks as good, but I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of pumpkin orange in the center of each flower. So I sharpened this really well with my little eye point Orbit pencil sharpener. Got a pretty good point on it. And what I'm going to do here is I am just going to kind of do some motions like this. you can even just practice that before you get started. Just some little flicking motions just to add a little bit of depth. And I think it's going to make a difference here. So I'm going to just, can you see how that just kind of added a little bit of something in there? Okay. And some of them are going to be a little darker than others. But do you see how it's just changing the look of this? Just getting a little bit deeper in there. Okay, so I'm going to just do it here, even though it probably doesn't go there. I'm just going to add a little bit in here. See, again, Alicia would say, no, Mom, not on that part. But she's not here to tell me, so I'm just winging it. I really want it to look like it's just coming out from like where the petals would come out from the center of the flower. So it's going to have to be better than horrible. And then what you'll notice is as you do something like this with your pencil, as you're doing these little stroke marks, the place where it gets sharp is going to change. So I kind of turn my pencil a little bit as I'm doing it, and it gets a little bit of, it gets a little bit darker in some spots that way because it gets sharper in certain spots. But I really like doing this. I think just this little bit adds so much. They're almost like little eyelashes. And the key is to just have the pencil really sharp. I might use a little Gamsol, not on this part. I want it to have the texture in it, but I might add a little bit of Gamsol in the center and add that other color in there. I'm going a little lighter on these because I'm pretty sure this is wrong. Welcome to class. I'm pretty sure this is all wrong, but I like the way it looks. I really do. I think I'm going to sharpen this a little bit more. There we go. Just a couple more. Oh, yeah. When you sharpen it, I like the thin lines. So I am making this card for a friend that is actually going to be at Create, and she is recently or is celebrating a birthday. I don't know exactly the day, but I know that she's going to be there. So I'm going to make this card for her. Since I can't give it away tonight, but I have a sample. So when Tom comes back, we'll definitely give the sample that I tried away because I was playing with colors. So the colors are going to be a little bit different. All right. And one more. Yeah, doesn't that just change the look of it a little bit? I like it. I might do a little bit of the green too. There we go. I'm sure Tom's going to have some words, and they're not going to be words of the day. He gets home. He did say, though, the food was amazing because I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about Pennsylvania, but you guys, I mean, that's where Tom and I are born and raised. Such good, like, you can't get a bad deli sandwich or you can't get a bad pizza. It's so good. So last time I talked to him, he was eating something at the airport. All right, so now I'm going to add just a little tiny line, real light, like real thin, I should say, just right around here, just to accent that. Sometimes you just have to play, you just have to sit with your pencils or your markers, and you just have to add details and have a little bit of fun. And that's what I feel like a stencil like this allows you to, I mean, it was beautiful before we added anything, just because of the stencil, not because of me, but because it's just so easy to to make it look good because of the way the stencil's designed. But then to go back and just sit and add a little bit of detail. And you guys know I always take pictures of these cards and I post them in our Facebook group. And I also post them here on my community tab on YouTube. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of that pumpkin orange in here. I'm going to just do a tiny little circular motion of pumpkin orange. And then I'm going to blend that out with Gamsol. So this is going to be nice because I think it'll just, it'll pull the center of this flower away from the rest of the flower. Because everything being exactly the same color is pretty, but having this little bit of extra pop in there, I think will make a difference. All right. So if you're new to Gamsol, this is what Gamsol looks like. It's actually an artist grade odorless mineral spirits. So if you guys don't have Gamsol where you're from, because I know we have people from all over the world and they might have a different brand name. I think Mona Lisa makes an odorless mineral spirits. There are other brands. I just use Gamsol because it's easy to get here. I can get it like at Blick Art Supply and I can just run down there whenever I run out. So, okay. And the pencil sharpener is the Eye Point Orbit. And this one you can get on Amazon. This is the battery operated one, but they also have one that plugs in. So if you just color all the time in one spot, I highly recommend the one you plug in because then you don't have to deal with batteries. If you're a traveler, get the battery operated one. The big difference between the two is the one that you plug in has a metal mechanism and this has a plastic mechanism, but both work really well. Okay, so I'm using our Creative Mark blending stumps. And guys, we sell these now in our store. I know a lot of you were asking about where to get them. And we actually sell just the small ones, like a 2-pack where you get the number. This is the number 2, and you get some number 3s. This is, I think, the number 3. So it comes in a little package. You get a couple of each. This way you don't have to buy a bunch of sizes you don't want. And I'm just dipping this into the Gamsol and allowing that to absorb a little bit into the tip. Don't just do a bloop. It's not enough. You got to really lay in there for a minute and let it absorb. And then I am going to just blend that out and see if that looks vibrant. I might even bring this color into the mix a little bit just to soften that line. Ooh, I like it. Do you guys like that? It's just really nice. Jennifer, you're going to give Tom a run for his money. He's always got like music and stuff he's working on, and now you're sharing all these great links, and now he's going to have to come back and do that. I love that. See, it takes a village to make one of these things happen, these lives. And luckily, my friend is here to help. Okay. So one more. All right. Isn't that fun? It just adds so much to that. Okay. You don't have Blicks where you are? Well, any art supply. I just said Blick because that's an art supply store here. But my daughter lived in New York and they just had a little local art store right where she was, and they had it as well. So I definitely would look around and see if you can find it. You can also find it at some big box craft stores. You can find it on some of our big online retailers, and you can also find it on Amazon. So I would look around for it. Okay. So I'm going to just add, this is marine green. I wonder what this color looks like. I don't know why I have this one out. Oh yeah, I like that. See, it's kind of an olivey green. This looks a little bit like fresh asparagus. Yeah, Jennifer, you need to learn to play the ukulele. That'll work. Okay, and I'm just going to just do some light strokes at the bottom of each of these leaves. See how that just shades it nicely? Now, of course, you can always go back if this is like something you don't want to do and you'd rather do it with ink. You can just use one of our smaller blending brushes and just go over the bottom of that leaf with fresh asparagus ink. But the reason why I'm doing it with a pencil is because I want the texture in it. So I'm really looking for a little bit of texture. I made a boo-boo here, so we're going to pretend that that was supposed to be there, like it's a leaf popping up. Okay. So I'm doing the same thing here, just really light-handed. Unlike we're going to blend it with Gamsol, because when I blend with Gamsol, I go heavy-handed. But here I'm just going really light-handed, just adding a little bit of the strokes in there. Yeah, no, it's okay. You know, Tom, that's his thing. And I don't want to try to provide music for you here because that is his thing. And I think it would be a lot of unsubscribes if I tried to add anything, any music. I could sing, but I can only sing with him. Okay, so do you like the way this is adding a lot of that shading in there? Okay. See, I'm hot too, and there's nobody to put the air on. So sad. Plain in the butt. That's the word. You know, it's great when it works, right? The airline industry is amazing when it works, but man, when something goes wrong, it's tough. Kind of get stranded. Get stranded with all that good Italian food. You know, I'm all of a sudden not feeling so bad for him. All right. So just a little bit more, and then we're going to assemble this card. We're going to put a greeting on here. Sometimes you just have to play and experiment. Like, don't worry about light and all of that. Just add the texture, add the little stroke lines in there. This is generally not my thing, but I was in the mood for it today. Okay, so there we go. Now, let me get the Gamsol out of the way so we don't have an accident. And then what I'm going to do here is I am going to find my Misty. I know it's right over here underneath my little paper cutter. I gave my Misty a bath today, so she's nice and clean. Still squeaks, though. And then I thought I would use the greeting from the new bundle. You know, you guys, we have this bundle that I've been using like crazy, making cards with it's the curved floral layering bundle. And it's got this little stamp set in it that I just love. And this is like the perfect happy birthday, just right across there. I think it's going to be really nice. Can also do it down a little bit more, but no, I think I'm going to try to get it over that green spot there. And I'm going to do it in black ink. So I just have to look over. Yeah, I clean my Misty. See how clean she is? I clean my Misty with the Gina K Design Stamp Cleaner. I would not recommend using this if you have the very, very first edition of the Misty, because the old Misty has pink lines. And if your Misty has pink lines, that means they're painted on, and that will take the paint off. It is super strong cleaner. But if your Misty has what looks like a grayish line, then it's etched in there, so it won't bother it at all. Okay, make sure that's straight. I think that looks pretty straight. And now I'm going to use a little bit of black Onyx ink and ink this up. See, it still squeaks. Get my Chucky tool. All right, we'll do one more layer. Welcome, everybody. It's so great to see all of you here. Now, I do have to tell you that for those of you that always tune in on Thursdays, I am actually traveling to Ohio. I leave very early tomorrow morning. I'm driving. So I will not have a live video on Thursday this week. But I do have a 5-minute card video that I'm going to post on Thursday instead. And I think you guys are going to like it. It's a stencil video, completely different than this, totally different, but it's really fun. So if you guys want to tune in, it'll probably go up right around the same time for lunch break. And then I will not have a video over the weekend because I will be really in the middle of it in Ohio. And I only had time to make one extra video this week. So I hope you guys understand. And then Tom and I will be back, and he will be back next Tuesday night with another live. So, okay, so now I'm going to add a black panel to this. It's kind of sticky on the back. So let's get a black panel here. That's right. I should make Tom do a Thursday live by himself. Oh my gosh. Jennifer, you're going to have to leave me and go help him. I don't think he'll do that. It might just be a lot of cowboy hats and guitar music. Although I have seen him make a card, and he's done several lives with me where he has made cards. And if you haven't seen those, Thursday would be a great day for you to go back and watch. Just look for some of the thumbnails where it's me and Tom both holding up cards. He's done quite a few cards, and it's pretty fun. He's fun. Okay, so I'm going to layer that on top. Oh, isn't that pretty? That's just such a fun little card. Yeah, no, I think you'll like this Thursday video. And again, it really is only about 5 minutes long. I went to upload it, and I clicked upload, and I ran to the bathroom. It was already rendering, so it's a pretty short video. Those 5-minute card videos are great when you don't have time, but you just want a quick idea. That's what they're meant for. Okay, so now it's time to pick a card base color. So I have a fresh asparagus card base here that I thought would be really pretty. Let's get white underneath it so you can see it a little better. So I don't know if you'll like that color. So the stencil that has the miscellaneous shapes on it, the one that I used earlier, is called Nature's Elements. I have it here in a stamp pocket, or a stencil pocket. Nature's Elements. And it's got all of those different little bits and pieces to it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's kind of just a staple, you know? All right, so here's the fresh asparagus. Let's just look at a gray, because you know I always sometimes like to see what it looks like on gray. So this is Stormy Sky. Does that make the pink pop out a little bit more? Was the green a little overwhelming? I'd love to know what you guys think about that. And then I think we should go with a light gray and just see how that looks. So this is the stencil pockets are available at GinaKDesigns.com under storage. And there is the soft stone. So what do you guys like? Let's see. I got to look at the comments. Usually Tom is monitoring all of this. Okay, so a lot of people like the green. A lot of people like the gray. I have to wait a minute because there's a delay here. So, all right, Linda doesn't like the grays. Some people really like the light gray. It looks fresher with the light gray. Yeah, I kind of think so too. I did lay it up against pink, but I thought that when I put it up against pink, all of the pink just disappeared. Here's a piece of pink. And I felt like all of a sudden just the flowers just matched. What do you think? The flowers just kind of, it was just all pink, you know, where you don't see as much of the flower because there's pink in the background. Okay, no, not pink. No, not. So it seems like more people. Let's look at that green again. Okay, let's look at the green because a lot of you guys are saying green, that you really like the green. And it's kind of, maybe you like the green because it pulls out the detail in the leaves a little bit. What do you think of that? This is actually not as dark as it's appearing on orange. Vicky, orange, you mean like to match the centers? Well, I'll hold it up to a piece. Let me find one. I think sweet mango is probably the closest, but I don't know. That is kind of fun. That is kind of fun. It does kind of pull out the center, Vicky. Good thinking. I like that. Okay, so I just want to see no orange, too bright. Okay, all right. Oh my goodness. All right, well, everybody has opinions, and that's okay. I asked for them. I want to know what you guys think. But it seems like just by reading the comments, I got more grays than I got green. And because it's a birthday, and I did like the comment, somebody said, because it's a birthday, the light gray makes it feel more fresh and happy, you know, and I kind of agree. So I think I'm going to go with the light gray. But you know what, you guys, I would love to see you guys make this card or something similar with these same colors and then do whatever card base you like in the mix. So I'm going to do that, but I think I'm going to pair it with a fresh asparagus envelope. Because, you know, you can mix and match. Your envelopes don't have to match your card base. So I think I'm going to do that kind of mix. What do you think? The fresh asparagus card envelope with that. So I think I'm going to go with that. All right, now we need to add a few little sequins in here. I was thinking just maybe a couple little ones just around the birthday greeting to just jazz that up a little bit. Okay. I know you guys are so sweet. You really are. You're so kind to me, and you kind of go with whatever my final decision is. And then you're all supportive, and I love that. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we'll put a little dot here, a little dot over here. Kathy Zilski has a sound that she makes when she does this. She boops. Are you still here, Kathy? She boops when she puts them on. I can't boop. I need to rehearse that before I can do something like that. We each have to have our own thing. Kathy boops. I have Tom. Okay, I'm going to put a tiny one there. Bigger one over there. These are disco ball sequins, and I have all my mini disco ball and my big disco ball sequins mixed together because I just really like this particular sequin color. I feel like it just goes with anything, you know? Do you guys have a favorite that you always go to, a rhinestone or a sequin or something like that, a pearl? This is kind of my go-to, and I'm sure you guys are kind of sick of seeing it, but I love it. I keep going for it. All right. So there is the finished card. Well, at least we got through, right? Tom would be so proud. He's probably on an airplane wondering how it's going, and I can text him. So when he gets out of the airplane, I can say, we made it through. It wasn't the same without you, but we were able to get a card done, and everybody was super supportive, and that'll make him really happy. All right. So I don't know how to do that picture-in-a-picture thing, so I'm going to go over there and go back to the front shot again. Maybe I'll just go and do it from the dead space. What do you think? And Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing all of the links and everything. Okay, I'm going over to the dead space. Oh, goodness gracious. Here, I'm back in the dead space. Hopefully you can hear me. I am here. All right. Wow. So that was really fun. Tom's got like really neat things over here. He's got the cowboy hat. I'll put that back on again. There we go. Well, what is this doing here? I got to fix that. Okay. Tom never has that. His head fits this. This is very big, though, for my head. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. I hope that you guys had fun tonight, and I hope that you'll give this technique a try with the colored pencil. It was super fun to do, and I think that just adding a little detail, if you don't want to do colored pencil, even try it with a little Copic marker, just one shade darker than the rest of the color, because Copics are so transparent and translucent. So that might be beautiful too. Or you can always stick with just a little bit of darker ink with a smaller blending brush down at the bases of all of those stencils. Whatever you choose, I know it's going to be beautiful, and I sure hope that you will share your creations in our Facebook group, Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Hey, can I do a banner? Let's see if that works. Here it is, Gina K Designs. I'm like, Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. That's the name of our Facebook group. So come on over and join us. That would be great. Well, everybody, like I said, I have a pre-recorded video, a 5-minute card coming up for you this Thursday at noon. And let's see, can I go back to the comments? No. Yes, there we go. Okay. I have a 5-minute card coming up for you on Thursday. Nothing over the weekend, but I will be back next Tuesday night, and Tom will be sitting right here in the dead space. So thank you all so much for joining me. Jennifer McGuire, huge shout out to you, girl, for helping me tonight. I appreciate it. Kathy Zilski, thank you for coming out too. You were going to be my backup too. If Jennifer had a game tonight, I was going to call you and see if you could moderate. But thank you guys all so much for joining me. We'll see you again real soon. Stay safe and stay healthy, and love you all so very much. Bye-bye.